You're no longer needed,
my husband bluntly stated. The daughter laughed and said, We don't need a fake mother, just disappear. I felt the blood draining from my face. It seems I was the only one who thought they were my precious family. For these people, I had been earnestly paying the mortgage and tuition from my part-time job earnings. That's enough. I thought, let me reveal everything to these people who understand nothing. My name is Gina. Joey and I, both having been divorced, remarried each other, and we were together for 15 years. We had a daughter from his previous marriage named Katie. Originally, I divorced my first husband because we couldn't have children. We went to the hospital, but the exact cause was unclear. Despite marrying out of love, we quarreled over our inability to conceive. Eventually, even our parents got involved, and it ended without any good memories. I thought I was done with marriage, but I met my destiny at a matchmaking party I was forced to attend by my parents. He was affable, easy to talk to, and had a lovely smile. He said,
Actually, I'm divorced.
Is that so? I am too.
And I'm raising a child.
That must be tough.
She's adorable, but I think she'd be better off with a mother. It's hard to find a kind woman who would care for a stepchild.
What?
Oh, did you hear that?
I thought it was fate. I found someone perfect for me who couldn't have children. His divorce was due to his ex-wife's infidelity. The stepchild was 3 years old at the time. She must have been adorable. And yet, his wife had an affair despite having such a small child. He was living in a newly built house. He said it still had a mortgage.
I can't pay it off alone, so I am thinking of letting it go.
That's a shame.
I've disposed of all my ex-wife's belongings, and I wanted to live there with you.
What?
Oh, did you hear that?
Was that supposed to be a proposal? Don't worry. If you like, I can also help pay the mortgage.
Really? Thank you. I would definitely repay you.
What are you talking about? There's no need to repay me. It's our home too.
What?
Oh, did you hear that? Things were going well with him, but I needed to disclose something important in advance. However, he accepted it surprisingly easily.
You might be infertile. That's totally fine. 1 child is enough for us. Let's cherish her together.
I was relieved. I no longer had to feel the pressure of marriage. We got married soon after that. Since it was the second marriage for both, we quickly finished greeting our relatives and didn't have a ceremony. Still, I was happy. With a kind husband, a cute daughter, and a new house, I swore to live for my family after once giving up hope. I would do anything for their happiness. Time passed and I turned 48 years old. Good morning, did you sleep well? To my greeting, my stepdaughter Katie stared at me without returning the morning greeting and said, Hey, you entered my room, didn't you? I just opened the window to air it out. Stop making excuses. Okay, sorry. She grew up so quickly to be a senior in high school. Whether it was her natural disposition or I had spoiled her too much, she was incredibly headstrong and harsh towards me. What time will you be home today? It's none of your business. That's not true. I need to know for dinner. I don't know. Well, let me know when you find out. Don't order me around. She left for school without saying goodbye. I didn't know what irritated her, but her attitude was always like this. Maybe her rebellious phase was just dragging on. As a stepmother, I wondered if this was inevitable, and it made me feel down. I might be overthinking, but I was depressed, feeling an invisible barrier. I worried that I wasn't recognized as a mother. No, I had worked hard for her. I had taken care of her in every way, staying up all night when she was sick and being firm without hesitation when she did something wrong. She must have felt my affection being so close. As she grows up, she will surely understand. Our bond as a family wouldn't change for a lifetime, so there was no need to feel anxious. What bothered me was my husband's silence. Given his position, he could mediate and support, but he would keep a detached attitude. He had been engrossed in his smartphone since the morning that day. No matter how many times I asked him to stop, he would never leave his smartphone. He would take it to the bath and didn't let go even while sleeping. He said he would feel anxious about it. He was no young kid. It was clearly an addiction. When I peeked over his shoulder, he exclaimed in surprise.
Whoa, what the heck?
I was just wondering what you were so focused on.
Don't look at other people's smartphones.
Do you have something to hide?
It's privacy. It's embarrassing.
I thought he might be looking at something embarrassing that morning, but I decided not to pry. Common opinion seemed to be that spouses shouldn't snoop through each other's smartphones. With a cheerful tone, I talked to my slightly annoyed husband. Hey, it's the last month.
Of what?
The payment for Katie's tuition. She's graduating soon. It's so fast. I said this with a feeling of deep reflection. 3 years went by in the blink of an eye, didn't they? Katie attends a private high school that is popular for its liberal atmosphere and stylish uniforms, but they are quite expensive. My husband was against it because of the cost, but she insisted on attending there. Wanting to fulfill her wish, I convinced my reluctant husband and decided to take on additional part-time jobs. Uniforms, tuition, overseas field trips, so-called voluntary donations, daily lunch money and pocket money, plus the mortgage on this house. Honestly, it was tough. Most of my part-time income went to these payments. However, the joy of seeing my daughter off to school every morning was irreplaceable.
It's gonna be lonely,
my husband also said reflectively. Lonely? She isn't leaving the house, so our life will remain much the same, right?
Oh, maybe I'll just miss seeing her in her school uniform.
That might be true. By the way, my mother had prepared a lot of celebrations and told us to come over after the graduation ceremony. It had been a long time since she saw my daughter, and she was very excited. Hey, I need to talk to you. After Katie graduates...
Not now, I'm busy.
My husband was again absorbed in his smartphone. All right. There was only 1 week left until the graduation ceremony. I thought there would be another chance to talk. A few days later, as I passed by my daughter's room, I heard her talking. It seemed she was on the phone. Ugh, really, the worst. Apparently, she was bad-mouthing someone. I wasn't interested, but I stopped and listened unintentionally. She acts like a mother, but she understands nothing. It's so annoying. My heart skipped a beat. Was she talking about me? If so, who was she talking to? My real mom is you, not that old lady. Even Dad treats her like a maid, not bothering to have another child. No. When we got married, we decided together to cherish you alone. Unable to contain myself, I opened the door to her room. Surprised, she seemed to hang up the phone instantly. Hey, I told you not to come into my room without permission, didn't I? Who are you talking to? Seeing my serious face, she laughed. Eavesdropping? Ugh, that's low. I just happened to hear it. Well, I'll tell you. The person on the phone is going to be your replacement as mom. Everything went dark before my eyes. Who? Since when? You're kidding, right? I trembled with a pale face. Are you saying he's cheating? That's not like him. It can't be possible. She said with a look of disdain. You seem unaware, so let me tell you. The reason for the divorce in his previous marriage was because of my father. That can't be. Of course he cheated. He even paid compensation. My daughter spoke fluently about things I never knew. Well, I'm better off staying with my father. I won't have to worry about money. And there must be some mistake. Are you done? I'm in the middle of a phone call. Can you leave? Fake mom. With that, I was driven out of the room. I wondered why my daughter was happily talking on the phone with her so-called next mother. What was I for them? Feeling like I might faint from dizziness, I went to my husband, who was in the living room. Hey, you. I heard from Katie. Are you cheating?
Hey, what's this all of a sudden?
Am I the only one being excluded? My husband looked at me suspiciously.
Katie teased you, didn't she?
What was true and what was a lie, I couldn't tell. So was it because of your affair that you divorced 15 years ago?
What? What just happened?
Was it you who cheated, not your wife?
It's been quite a while,
he answered nonchalantly, showing no remorse. So it's true.
If so, what are you going to do about it?
I just want to know the truth.
I regret what I did. I think I did something bad.
What do you mean? He started talking defiantly. Due to his affair, the mentally weakened ex-wife forced him to take custody. Since he had never done child raising, he was in trouble and went to a matchmaking party, looking for someone to act as a mother replacement. I was shocked to hear that, but he said,
It's all in the past. We're happy now, aren't we?
He smiled with the same expression he had when we first met. That's terrible. I've been acting as the mother of this house for 15 years. I've been juggling part-time jobs while doing housework to make the payments, and now I'm being called fake.
Is that the end of the story?
What did you say?
You did it because you wanted to. Stop whining. Katie's right. You're just a fake. It's all just pretend.
Hearing these careless words from him, I was stunned. Just pretend? Did he just say that now? How can you say such a thing?
It's the truth.
Oh, I need to cool off.
Yeah, do that.
I lay down on the couch. I wanted to sleep in the bedroom, but I couldn't move. I had a terrible headache. It felt like my head was splitting. My husband neither offered a hand nor showed any concern. I needed to talk things through properly with them both. Cheating the next mother, my head was about to burst. I couldn't gather my thoughts, and morning came while I was still confused. I dozed off and saw nothing but dreams, barely sleeping at all. It was a noisy and tumultuous nightmare.
Oh, I got tired. That was refreshing.
Yeah, Dad. Joey and Katie appeared with towels wrapped around their heads. They looked as if they were in the midst of a major cleaning or moving, sweating profusely. While wondering, I looked towards the entrance and saw a light truck for collecting waste departing. My dresser and chest of drawers were on the truck bed. Oh no. Why? I rushed to confirm with them. What have you done?
There was a last-minute cancellation, so they came right away.
That wasn't what I was asking.
I threw them away.
Threw them away? My things?
If I'm going to live with a new wife, I have to get rid of the previous wife's belongings.
What?
You're no longer needed anyway.
He said this nonchalantly, which made me tremble. Katie laughed and said, We don't need a fake mother. Just disappear. I felt the blood drain from my face. Fake? I had believed that being a mother wasn't just about giving birth, but that I, who had raised her, was her real mother. Looking around the house, from the bedroom to the changing room and the closets, all my belongings had been thrown out. Only the suit I was supposed to wear for my daughter's graduation ceremony was left in the living room untouched. I gently picked it up and said, I understand. I'll leave. You're not thinking of coming to the graduation tomorrow, are you? Dad is the only guardian needed. I know that. Good. I would absolutely hate it if my fake mom showed up. She said this with a giggle. Where did I go wrong in raising her? I felt so sad I might cry. I couldn't forgive that I had been betrayed from the beginning. Neither time nor money will return, and my daughter called me a fake mother. Perhaps she was right. It may have been a self-serving effort, but as long as they were people like that, maybe this was destined to happen. Well, they would be the ones shocked the next day, and the following day. I felt sorry for not being able to see my daughter in her moment of pride. Contrary to how I felt, the weather was clear and sunny. My mother, dressed in a suit, had left home. Even though this day had finally arrived, she couldn't convey her congratulations to the two of them. Soon, my smartphone started ringing madly. It was from Katie. What could it be in the middle of the graduation ceremony? I switched it to silent mode for the moment. I slipped my arms into the suit that escaped disaster yesterday. Now, shall we reveal everything? When I arrived at the graduation venue, there was one student left alone in the gym. It was Katie. You finally showed up! She was trembling. Over 300 missed calls showed the story of her anger. This is your fault, isn't it? What are you talking about? I was told not to come to the graduation. You must have done something about it, right? Done something? Why would I do that? That's what I'm asking. Just then, a young woman appeared. Katie said to her, "Ma'am, please do something about her." It seemed like she was one of the teachers at school. She spoke with a displeased look.
No matter the circumstances, disrupting a graduation is unacceptable, even for a former mother.
She looked at me with challenging eyes. So it's you.
Nice to meet you. I am her new mother.
I hadn't expected that it was a teacher at school. That explains why they got along so well. You seem to be mistaken, but I have no power to disrupt the graduation. I'm just a guardian now, after all. What? What are you talking about? Then the principal appeared in a suit.
Oh, everyone is gathered together.
Principal, what do you mean I alone can't graduate? My daughter snapped suddenly. The principal apologized with a troubled smile.
I'm sorry, there was something I absolutely needed to confirm with you, so I instructed it.
With me? You did?
That's because you're special.
Really?
Yes, I wanted to keep you here. If I give you your diploma, you'll leave, won't you? I'd be troubled if we couldn't meet again.
Is it because I'm excellent? My daughter was pleased by this misunderstanding. The teacher looked uneasy, a stark change from before. She couldn't act arrogantly in front of the principal. It was too late for cover-ups, though. The principal spoke to the teacher.
Miss, you've had several one-on-one meetings with Katie's father, haven't you? Huh? Katie has submitted numerous meeting requests, hasn't she?
What? The two were nervous, looking at each other. That's because the teacher and my dad said they wanted to talk.
Yeah, it was necessary for career guidance.
The principal, exasperated, said,
The career decisions were made over half a year ago, weren't they? How were you guiding her? I
sighed. I never imagined that my daughter was complicit in my husband's affair. I only did it because the teacher asked me to.
Hey, you were the one who suggested that the career guidance office was safe and wouldn't be discovered by anyone, right?
Despite saying she was happy to have a young mom, it was just like a family quarrel. Just then my husband approached. He had been hiding in the corner of the guardian's area.
Now, calm down. Just leave this to me, I've got it under control.
He came forward eagerly, but what exactly could he do?
Principal, my remarriage to the teacher has nothing to do with Katie's graduation. We paid the tuition in full. Please give my daughter her diploma.
The principal listened to him in silence.
Principal, are you listening? Don't you recognize my face? As for Katie, it's understandable since the last time she saw me was when she was little. Huh? It's such a shame. I was looking forward to celebrating the graduation. After all, it wasn't you who managed the household finances and paid the tuition, was it? Huh? Gina's mother?
Yes, the principal is my mother.
You're kidding. Have you kept it a secret? I planned to explain everything after graduation to treat the students equally.
Everyone could not hide their surprise. Katie seemed unable to believe that the principal she had known was her grandmother. You're my grandmother? Really?
Yes.
Then why? Don't interfere with your granddaughter's graduation.
Oh, you haven't bothered with me since you were little, but now you claim to be my granddaughter when it suits you?
But we're not even blood related.
True, but who was it that desperately raised you?
She did that on her own. I didn't ask for it. She yelled at me. Besides, I said Dad alone was enough for a guardian. Why did you even come? She seemed to have forgotten that she called me incessantly to come. That was far more presumptuous. I am not a guardian. Huh? I am taking over from my mother and will become the principal next year. We agreed to announce this after your graduation. What? What? My daughter, husband, and the teacher all looked like a deer in the headlights. Understand? I have responsibilities in this matter.
Hey, I wasn't informed.
You wouldn't listen when I tried to tell you.
Ugh.
Normally, I shouldn't meddle with a guardian's infidelity, but when it involves school staff too, it's wrong to stay silent. I said this to the teacher, who looked pale. You, having promised marriage to a married guardian, obsessively clinging through emails and calls, engaging in inappropriate physical relations, and giving preferential treatment to a student, have had inappropriate behaviors for a teacher. Therefore, you're dismissed as of today.
What? You knew all this?
Yes.
No way.
Make sure you keep up with the house payments. It's your responsibility now.
No way, I refuse.
Also, expect a claim for damages.
Please, no. I wouldn't have made such promises if I knew the next principal would be you.
No matter what was said, my discarded belongings wouldn't come back, nor would the evidence of the affair disappear.
You'll be fine. You'll find a new job soon. Let's live together.
Saying this, Joey tried to comfort the teacher with a pale face by putting his arm around her shoulder. Annoyed, she brushed his hand away and said,
No, don't touch me. What are you going to do about this?
Then she buried her head in her hands.
I shouldn't have started an affair so casually. Your family has ruined my life.
What a thing for the involved parties to say. As the incoming principal, I was certain this teacher was not needed. A terrible woman who dared to get involved with a student's father. I must inform the nearby schools as well. What about my graduation, then? After thinking for a moment, I replied, You were responsible for having assisted them, but since the main culprit has been dealt with, I'll allow you to graduate conditionally. What? What's that? Well, this is a school. I'll assign you a task. How about all of you submitting 20 pages of reflective essays? Huh? What's that? My daughter, not good at writing sentences, looked utterly dismayed. Given her personality, apologizing and reflecting wouldn't come easily. Please do your best not to fail. If by any chance you do, don't worry. I will guide you as the principal. Huh? Don't get too cocky. Watch your language. I must teach you how to speak properly first. What? Your response. Yes. Joey, who had been watching the situation with his mouth agape, suddenly changed his demeanor.
Look, I'm sorry for not considering your feelings, but hiding that you're going to be the next principal wasn't right. If I knew you were that amazing, I would have been nicer. I replied with a look of disdain. Pay the compensation quickly, please. Huh?
It was fun playing house with you for a short while.
What?
Now, parents, please leave. My voice echoed in the empty gymnasium. I hoped the new family of 3 would enjoy their play pretend. 3 days later, the reflective essays were submitted by Joey and Katie. First, from Joey. Likely pulled from the internet, his submission was full of copy-paste work, repetitive and superficial. Even an AI without any context could write better. No sign of genuine reflection. Should I accept it just because it was submitted for his daughter's sake? No, I wanted my wasted time back. It would definitely be rejected. The second was from Katie. All about how pitiful she was and her resentment towards me. No sign of reflection. She complained about struggling with laundry and meals, resentful that her previous comfortable life was taken away. After all, it was me who took care of the family from morning to night, allowing them to live comfortably. It was their own doing. No reflective essay was submitted by the teacher. She must have woken up, realizing that marrying was a mistake, and ran away. With a new mother missing and the 2 of them inept at household chores, can they really survive? That's none of my business. It's a good opportunity for them to learn to fend for themselves. If they continue to see me as the villain, they will never manage. I'm no longer a mother, and even if she doesn't think so, I've raised her with love for 15 years. I can't truly stop her from graduating, but before she enters society, I should correct her twisted attitudes. Every day after school, she'll come to the principal's office for supplementary lessons on general knowledge. I'll have her help with miscellaneous tasks too. Since her reflective essay isn't acceptable, she'll need to take time to correct it. Maybe she'll be decent after a year. It's up to her. I'm prepared for many years. Although I never have my own children, now I have the role of overseeing many students and getting them to graduate. This job will continue for many more years. There are various kinds of students, and parents too. Family circumstances vary. Not all students are privileged. I am eager to grow alongside them.